There have been many speculations doing the rounds about Modi's Doordarshan interview. We tell you about today's development.
Speculations, speculations and more speculations. Then the war of words. But all in vain. While there were arguments and counter-arguments in the political fraternity about Modi considering Priyanka as his daughter and not a political rival, the war of words seems to have gone in vain. No Priyanka daughter remark in Modi interview. Well, yes, Modi never called Priyanka his daughter. Here's what he had said, followed by Priyanka's staunch reply.
मैं इन बातों को सीरियस इसलिए नहीं लेता हूँ कि कोई भी बेटी अपने भाई के विजय के लिए, माँ के विजय के लिए सब कुछ करेगी। और मैं मानता हूँ इतना तो उनको हमने अवसर देना चाहिए कि आखिर बेटी बेटी है, माँ के लिए नहीं करेगी तो किसके लिए करेगी, भाई के लिए नहीं करेगी तो किसके लिए। बीजेपी का नेता और एक बेटी के नाते वो कुछ भी कहे मैं कभी बुरा नहीं मानूंगा, क्योंकि उसको हक है अपनी माँ के लिए मेहनत करना, उनका हक बनता है अपने भाई के लिए काम करना। इससे भी 10 गालियां और देगी तो भी बेटी बेटी है, उसके प्रति नाराजगी नहीं हो सकती।
मेरे पिता राजीव गांधी थे, देश के लिए शहीद हुए हैं और मेरे दिल में और मेरे मन में कभी उनका कंपैरिजन किसी भी और इंसान के साथ नहीं हो सकता।
Even Narendra Modi's office has gone on to agree that he never called her his daughter. Well, Priyanka's reply came after speculations that he had called her his daughter. While the BJP alleged that the public broadcaster edited certain contents under pressure from the government, Doordarshan came out clean, saying that there was no deliberate omission. There was no deliberate editing or omission of any portion of the interview. Wherever editing was done, it was for technical reasons and during post-production. There was no interference or control from any authority in the entire process. Important portions of the interview were used in the all-important bulletins of Doordarshan News also. It was given wide pre-telecast publicity and was repeated the next day. While Nirmala Sitharaman hit out at the Congress yesterday for pressurizing the public broadcaster, even today she insists that Doordarshan was pressurized to edit certain parts.
Prasar Bharati is an independent body. Somewhere pressure has been exerted and the interview has been censored and cut.
Now that the air is clear about the father-daughter controversy, what is the pressure that Nirmala Sitharaman is talking about? Ahmed Patel, my best friend in Congress. It now seems that there is something new to ponder over. Even as the father-daughter speculations are clear, it seems that the editing row is still far from over. Here's how Modi left Sonia Gandhi's political secretary, Ahmed Patel, fuming. Let me inform you that I have a lot of close friends in the Congress party and Ahmed Patel is one of them. Maybe he is not that close anymore. I do not know what problem he has now because he seems to avoid me. I used to go to his place and share meals with him. We were good friends and I personally do not see why we should not have had such a relationship. Also, we never called him Ahmed Bhai. We called him Bao Bhai. This is not known to many people outside, but we have. This is what he said during the Doordarshan interview about Ahmed Patel, which is alleged to have been edited. But Ahmed Patel, on the contrary, refuted all the claims and stated otherwise. Ahmed hits out at Modi's remark.
मुझे नहीं मालूम कांग्रेस में उनके कौन दोस्त हैं, कौन दोस्त नहीं है, लेकिन अगर कोई कह रहे हैं कि मैं उनका क्लोज हूं या उनका बहुत ही करीबी दोस्त हूं तो बेबुनियाद है, गलत है, सरासर झूठ है। और चुनाव के दौरान ये बात करना कि वो मेरे घर आते थे, साथ खाना खाते थे, इस तरह की बातें करना जो बिल्कुल बेबुनियाद है, ऐसी बातें मेरे ख्याल से नहीं करनी चाहिए। अगर वो सिद्ध कर दें कि कभी मैं उनके घर गया हूं, कभी उनकी ऑफिस गया हूं या मैंने कोई फेवर ली है तो मैं सार्वजनिक जीवन छोड़ दूंगा।
Well, we don't know whether even this argument will end in a damn squib. What we do know is that this controversy is not going to get over soon. A News 9 report.
Political parties doing all they can to pull each other's leg this poll season, and now In the run-up for the results, Congress seems to be playing its trump card. Take a look.
Congress resurrects Snoopgate. While the country is electing its next leader and political hostilities soaring this poll season, the UPA has raked up the controversial Snoopgate. The government is going ahead with a probe into the illegal surveillance on a young woman architect in Gujarat involving Modi's close aide Amit Shah and his sahib. Union Law Minister Kapil Sibal today said that a judge will be announced before 16th of May, the day of Lok Sabha election results.
You will get a Snoopgate judge before the 16th of May, and I don't know why these people are so worried and why leaders of the BJP are worried and why they are making public statements that no judge should join this commission. Because they know for a fact that once the commission is set up, there is no saving Narendra Modi, because there is documentary evidence of what he has done and how he has snooped on the activities of a young girl. And I think they should continue to be worried, because the commission will set up and he will be investigated and he will be brought to book.
According to reports, a sitting judge from the Allahabad High Court is likely to be appointed to probe the contentious issue. Kapil Sibal also said that they don't trust the State Commission since the team has been appointed by Modi to probe himself.
In Gujarat, the Chief Minister, who is sought to be prosecuted or sought to be investigated under such a commission, sets up his own commission in the Gujarat state seeking to investigate himself by an appointee of his liking. Do you think that that commission will ever move forward? It will never move forward. Just like the Nanavati Commission. 12 years have passed, we've not got any report. And this is really the track record of the Gujarat government. So we don't expect anything from the State Commission.
Union Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde also took pot shots at Modi while confirming that a commission will soon be set up.
मुझे डर ये लग रहा है कि एक चीफ मिनिस्टर किसी लड़की के पीछे इतने सब ये बोलते हैं, लिखित आ गया है सब जगह, किसी लड़की के पीछे ये गुप्त फेर लगाते हैं. एक देश का चीफ मिनिस्टर अभी कल प्रधानमंत्री हो जाएंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा लड़कियों का, मुझे वो डर है.
Decision a violation of Model Code of Conduct? Well, this is the big question during the rounds following the sudden resurrection of Snoopgate probe this poll season. While the decision to name a commission before the announcement of results is seen as a measure to attack Modi, the Congress has rubbished the claims. Further, launching a probe was seen as a violation of a Model Code of Conduct, but Congress leaders, though, claim that the decision was taken long back.
No. We set up the commission long ago, much before the Model Code of Conduct. This is only appointing a particular judge to a commission. It's nothing to do with the Model Code of Conduct.
The decision has been taken far earlier, before the Code of Conduct started.
BJP calls it a desperate attempt. Just as expected, the BJP launched a scathing attack against the UPA for the Snoopgate. An array of Saffron Party leaders hit out at the Congress, accusing them of desperately raking up the issue as they are facing defeat.
Congress is in a very desperate situation. They can read the writing on the wall. They know they are going to lose the elections, and therefore they are trying to divert the issue. At the moment, nobody bothered about so-called Snoopgate, because nobody has even made a complaint.
कि कांग्रेस पार्टी की धरती तो हिल चुकी है और धरातल जो है पूरी तरह से खिसक चुका है. और जिस पार्टी की धरती हिल चुकी हो और धरातल खिसक चुका हो, जिसका भूगोल जो है वो दागी हो गया हो और इतिहास पूरी तरह से बागी हो गया हो, तो ऐसी स्थिति में तो इस तरह की बहकी हुई बेबुनियाद बेसुरी बातें कांग्रेस के नेताओं के जुबान से निकलेगी, क्योंकि हार की हताशा अभी तक चेहरे पे दिखाई पड़ रही थी, अब सर पर चढ़कर बोल रही है.
It is indeed a matter of surprise. The Congress party has become so desperate in view of the imminent defeat that it is resorting to all types of cheap tactics and conspiracies to somehow divert the issue. The Snoopgate is basically a Stoopgate of Mr. Sushil Kumar Shinde and Kapil Sibal and Congress leaders. It is shameful, it is despicable, it is deplorable, and I condemn it.
Meanwhile, CPI has backed the probe into the controversial stalking issue. CPI leader Gurudas Das Gupta welcomed the decision and even said that it was wise for an Allahabad court judge to investigate the scandal.
If a sitting judge is appointed to look into the particular nefarious case, then it is not a bad thing. It should be done. And if Allahabad High Court is chosen as the place from where one judge should be picked up and inquire into the case. There is nothing wrong in it.
The Snoopgate scandal had created a furore in the political circles during the run-up to Lok Sabha polls when two investigative journalism portals had exposed the controversial scandal. And now with Modi's popularity soaring, the Congress is all braced up to set up a commission. This has certainly raised many eyebrows. Is the Snoopgate probe Congress's last weapon to stop the BJP's PM candidate? A News 9 report.
After a year-long struggle, the day has finally come when second PU students and their parents can breathe a sigh of relief. The common entrance test in Karnataka has come to an end. Here's a report.
About 140,000 students from across 314 centres spread through 29 districts of Karnataka are done with their CET exams. In Bengaluru alone, 70 examination centres saw aspiring engineers and doctors writing one of the most crucial exams of their lives. After the biology and mathematics exams were held yesterday, today the students were faced with the challenge of the physics and chemistry papers. We caught up with a few students and here's what they had to say.
Yeah, CET was fine, and I had prepared consistently, diligently for these 2 years during my first PU and second PU. CET was today. Chemistry was a really tough paper, so I don't know how it goes. I think all of the other guys felt it tough as well. Yesterday was biology and maths, which biology was, went well. Physics too was easy today. I hope to get a good rank and do engineering.
Well, my CET preparation started when I was in 8th standard itself. It was not actually CET, it was for JEE. And then since 10th standard, I have been preparing continuously for it, and it was my main aim. And it went well this time. Physics and maths was easy and it went good. But chemistry didn't go that well. It was quite tough, and I felt I could have done better with little more efforts.
Tests in Kannada for Gadinada Kannadigas will be held tomorrow. The key answers of CET will be uploaded on the KEA website on 8th of May. And the results will be announced on the 27th of May, and the counselling sessions will start from the first week of June. For many, CET is their lone hope for a secure future. It has almost become a tradition for parents and youngsters to believe their hopes of a good future rest on their CET rankings.
We have two aims, that is, I either have to be an engineer or I have to do BSc in mathematics. So if I get the best seat in engineering, I would be opting for engineering. If not, I'll be taking BSc mathematics. If I'm getting a better pay in abroad, I probably prefer going abroad, working well and getting back to India. I believe money is one of the most important part and parcel of our life. So having that, I feel I can serve my country coming back over here again.
Overall, it's a big relief for all those students who burnt midnight oil to make sure they'll make it through these exams with flying colors, and also all the tense parents out there. So at least till the results are out, chill Madi boss. Deepak Bopana for News 9, Bengaluru.